Hey guys, your coach James Wilson here with a body position clinic. I'm going to go over some of the basics behind body position on the bike, why it's so important, and then also show you kind of how the deadlift connects to the body position on the bike and how you can be practicing body position while you're doing your deadlift. So the basic idea with body position is to stay balanced on the bike. Remember Mr. Miyagi in the original Karate Kid said, balance good, karate good, balance bad, may as well go home. Same thing on the trail. So those days that you feel like you're about to kill yourself on the trail, probably your body position's off and you're just not balanced on your bike. So to stay balanced on your bike, it's all about the relationship between your center of gravity, which is your hips, and your bike center of gravity, which is roughly somewhere around the bottom bracket area. So what happens a lot of times though, with when people get set up on the bike, they get in bad body position, you want to get spread out over the bike. You need your weight a little bit behind your bike's center of gravity so that you don't feel like you're going to get pitched over your handlebars, but you also need some weight on the front end so that you feel like you're going to be able to steer the bike. If you don't have any weight on the front end, you can't steer from the front end and get the front wheel to dig in and get traction. So what ends up happening is a lot of riders end up making a compromise because they don't have a really good hip hinge, which is what we learned from the deadlift. They can't get their butt back and their chest down. They end up either sitting with their butt back, but their chest is high. So now they've got no weight on the front end, which means you don't feel like you're gonna get pitched over your handlebars, but you feel like you're just pushing through and washing out of corners. You just don't really have any traction on the front end. You can't steer effectively. Or you end up getting over the front end so you feel like you can steer effectively, but your center of gravity is pushed too far forward, and now it feels like you're going to get pitched over the handlebars all the time. These are those riders who are just constantly going over the handlebars and wrecking because they can't get their weight distributed right on the bike. So what you're looking for is butt back, chest down. When you're on the bike, you want to get your butt back behind your seat a little bit and your chin is over your stem. So this is when we're standing up in the attack position. This also applies as well when you're sitting down. So when you're seated, making sure that you're hinging at the hips, not just riding up high with your elbows locked out, or bending over at the lower back and not really getting good weight over the front end. So even when you're sitting down, you can still use that hip hinge to get your weight distributed better on the bike. So what I want to do is show you how we practice this with the deadlift and then how that's going to apply to the bike. So I've got a kettlebell out here, and so our basic deadlift position, the way that I teach it, you should be sitting with the kettlebell between your feet. You want to push your butt back and let your chest come down, and before you come up, what you want to do is drop your heels into the ground, which kind of gets your weight back on your heels, and you want to cramp your armpits, get your lats engaged. And then once you've done those two things, then we drive the heels into the ground, squeeze that limb in between our thighs, stand up, and then come back, pushing that butt back, letting the chest come down. So drop the heels, engage the lats, up, back down. So this right here is how you want to be on your bike. This is good body position on your bike. This is not a deadlift. So, if you're practicing this with your deadlift and you're doing something that looks like this, don't be surprised when you get on your bike and you ride like this, okay? You have to be practicing this hip hinge in order to apply it to your bike. And so again, another good thing about the deadlift is things are slowed down. You can think about your body position and what you're doing, whereas when you're on the bike, there's a lot of stuff going on. Sometimes it can be hard to break old habits when you're more worried about crashing and just keeping the rubber side down than actually learning how to move better. So that's why we got to get off the bike, learn how to move better, then you can apply that to the bike. So same thing when you get on your bike, you're going to be applying that basic idea of body position to the bike. So a lot of people have heard, you want your elbows out on the bike. It's actually not true. Elbows out is a symptom of good body position. It's not a cause of good body position. So just flapping your elbows out is not what you're looking for. It's that cramping the armpits, getting those lats engaged, that results in your lats getting out. If you don't have your lats engaged, then it's real easy to just let your elbows flop in. And so what you're seeing with good riders is that they have that upper back nice and strong, which gets their elbows out. They're not just pushing their elbows out, because you can push your elbows out and not have your lats engaged, and then you don't have good strong body position on the bike. So that, you know, cramping the armpits and dropping the heels is a really important part of making sure that you got good body position on the bike. So again, what you're looking for is butt back, chest down. A good rule of thumb that I've found is when you're in your attack position, you want your chin over your stem. If that chin, if it's in front of you like this, then that's not good body position. So what I'm gonna do is take a couple little laps back and forth and kind of show you guys the difference between bad body position and good body position on the bike. So first of all, bad body position. This is not where you wanna be, with your chest high, your arms almost straight. This is not what we're looking for, okay? So what we want to do is get that butt back and that chest down. This is good body position. Another way that you can tell if you've got good body position is that you're not leaning into the handlebars. You don't want to feel like you have weight on your handlebars. You want to feel like you've got, you know, your weight is being held up by your core and your legs. So again, it really is just that simple. I wish I had something to make it seem more complicated, to make myself sound smarter, but you know, the easiest way to tell if you have good body position, have somebody film you when you're on the bike and have an objective look at what you look like in your attack position. If you don't have your butt back behind your seat and your chest pushed down towards your top tube and your chin over your stem, then you're not in good body position. So, you know, remember, drop those heels, engage those lats, butt back, chest down. Another thing that really helps is to think about pushing your chest, your breastplate towards your top tube here. So this is not good. You don't want your back rounded. And again, if you've cramped those armpits and gotten your lats engaged, that'll take care of pushing your chest down towards your top tube. But if you're sitting there all hunched up with, you know, your chest pushing away from your top tube, again, it's just not good strong body position. You can't be balanced in that position there. So so that's basically it, really. And I'll show you what I like to do to kind of get me going sometimes when I feel like I'm just not balanced on my bike, is I'll actually try to work my full range of motion on my bike. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you should be able to get high and low and high and low and high and low. So it's basically like applying that deadlift motion on your bike. Butt back, chest down and up and down and up. So this, you should be able to move from your hips. You're driving from your hips. You're pushing your butt back, that's getting your chest down. You push your hips forward, that gets your chest up. So that's something that I work with riders and really get them to exaggerate. I mean, a lot of riders have a really tough time getting that chest down, their chin down towards the top tube. So making sure, you know, really exaggerate it. See if you can, how close you can get your chin down towards your stem while keeping your back straight, getting that butt back behind your seat. So, you know, that's basically it. That's what you're looking for with body position. It's so important to get this down because it's gonna help improve your balance on the trail. But if you don't have good body position, you can't corner effectively, you can't manual, you can't jump. Everything stems from body position. So getting this down is essential to being able to apply any of the other skills that I'm going to teach you in future videos. So if you have any questions on this, post them in the forum. I'll be more than happy to maybe shoot a follow-up video and see what we can do to make this as clear as possible. But again, practicing that deadlift technique, making sure that you're applying good, you know, butt back, chest down to the deadlift, and then applying that movement to your bike when you get on the bike is going to do wonders for you. So once again, it's been James Wilson with MTB Strength Training Systems. Hope you guys have enjoyed this clinic, and I'll talk to you in the next one.